Going to call the regular scheduled May council meeting to order. I want to thank all the visitors and citizens that came out and everyone that's watching via our social media accounts. We're going to open up with our prayer and our pledge. I ask Reverend Woods if he would lead us in our prayer followed by the pledge.
Let's stand, please. Father God, we thank you again now for this great opportunity just to be here in your presence. We thank you again, the Master, for this day. We thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. Now, God, tonight we pray for wisdom. We pray for understanding. And God, again, we just ask that you will bless each one that are here. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, if you would call the roll, Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Brown. Here. Mr. Golden.
Here.
Mr. Lau. Mr. McKinney.
Here.
Ms. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Ray. Here. Mr. Williams.
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
All right, thank you. I asked you guys to be in prayer for Mr. Lau. He did call and let me know that he had a medical procedure on Friday and wasn't able to be here tonight. So keep him in your prayers. But he did speak to me and let me know he wasn't able to make it. We have minutes from the April council meeting. Are there any changes or corrections to those meetings, to those minutes from that meeting? If not, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ray, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Woods. If you would, all in favor, vote with cast your vote.
Let me see if I'm ready.
See if you're
I
gonna
should have
be
been
working
getting
tonight.
ready but like 5 minutes ago.
Let me hold it for you.
Okay, they said don't press it so hard. I'm telling you, I'm Sabbath. Here we go again.
I don't think it's working this time.
I'm telling you, it's not.
Oh, there we go. I'm assuming you're saying yes. All right, we'll close the vote.
Yeah, it's not working.
Motion carries. Count her as yes. Under my report, we have our in-home child care workshop hosted by Southwest Development District on May the 20th at 1. We'll be here at City Hall, so if y'all know of any people that's in the community that's interested in opening an at-home child care facility, we will be meeting here to help them with regulations and grants and things like that to get them started. That's on May the 20th here at 1 p.m. Also, our offices will be closed for Memorial Day observance on the 27th. So if you would put that on your calendars as well, we'll be closed here for our regular business office. That's all that's on my report. I'm gonna move to public comments. The section is open if anyone that would like to speak on any of the items that's on tonight's agenda. We will limit it to 3 minutes per speaker. So we got the list here. I think it's a few people
Yes,
unsigned
we
up.
have Mr. Barrett Stevens and Ms. Jamie Ross.
All right, Ms. Baird, you can come before the council at this time.
Well, I don't know what I'm really doing right now. I don't know. I'm here because of you're going to discuss the election. Basically, what as I was the mayor, for those of you that don't know me, and on the council for 14 years prior to that, we've had this same discussion several times about changing our election to get in sync with the counties. And it does, I know it does cost us money, but in the past and when actually passed on even prior to my time, people always had the feeling or felt like Bolivar was more important than getting it mixed up with the rest of the elections in the county. And those of you that voted in the last election we've had up here, if you went through the ballot, and they're doing a great job, doing the best they can, and I'm not running them down, but the ballot is extremely hard to read and determine what you're going to do. And I'm a young man. I'm not but 81. And I had a little trouble with it myself. But what I want to say, it costs us more money, but we pay for it when we're with the county or we pay for it otherwise. We still pay for our elections, or did when I was here. I think if somebody's here, they'll verify that. We still have to pay for our elections. We talk about saving money. What I'm concerned about is votes. Bolivar is a great town, And we need to be voting for Bolivar. We don't need to be worrying about Grand Junction or Middleton or the rest of the people, all the other elections that come on. Now, that's my opinion. And I want to express that. And the other side, I understand, and I don't know what I'm talking about because I have not seen the document or know nothing about, all I'm hearing is gossip. But I understand that we're gonna create an extra year for all you council people. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that is really a sensitive item. I do know, I've researched the Tennessee Code Annotated. It is legal. In 2010, they passed that to say that you could actually, this bunch here, by ordinance, could add 2 years on to your tour, or your whole time you're there, or whatever. I really believe that the people of Bolivar, they elect y'all, most of you, some of you might be appointed, and that's good when you appoint a vacancy. I support that. But do we give an extra year or 2 years to each of y'all? Now, that bothers me. And it bothers the citizens, the people that y'all represent. Each one of you have probably been elected or appointed or whatever. And you're duly elected. And that's wonderful. And Bolivar's a great place. It's a wonderful place. But when you come to election, let's elect Bolivar people.
All right, thank you, Mr. Barrett.
Thank you.
Ms. Ross?
I'd like to speak, but could I reserve mine until y'all talk about it at the end?
Exactly. Why y'all
No.
have this up here? This
No.
don't make no sense.
Oh, the state made a move.
That's state law. You would have to speak
Yeah.
now.
I didn't know y'all followed that.
I'm sorry.
I said you would have to speak in this point, Linda.
I have to speak now?
Yes, ma'am. You can stay right there, Ms. Ross. You don't have to get up.
Okay. Her name is Janie Ross. I've been a citizen of Hardeman County for 80 years. And I feel every one of them. But I've lived in Bolivar for about 30. I'm the mother of 5 children, Nubbin being one. I don't have to say his name, everybody knows Nubbin. 2-star general, I think. Is he 2-star general? Yes. But you know what? I've got another 2-star general that lives in Charlottesville, Virginia, Ben Ross. That's my child. And then I have Tony, who lives in Tune. If you need anything fixed, he can do it. Will, who works at Big EA, and then my baby girl, who works in Franklin, Tennessee. But I watch y'all. Because a lot of times I'm crippled and I can't do some things. I love each one of you. But when I look over the agenda and I noticed what y'all are gonna talk about tonight, the discussion about continuing elections, it just bothered me. My question that I had in my mind, why rush it? And you don't have to answer me. I've heard voter turnout. I've also heard it's gonna save us money. I've also, it's still an election year and an off year. For those of us that voted in 2023. And for me, it's just hard to get out. Of course, I've never voted any other way except in person. But to my fellow men and women sitting on this council tonight, that voted in, you were voted in and you were elected by the citizens of Bolivar.
Amen.
And I just want to urge you to take a look at this just for a minute, because it's a matter that needs careful consideration and attention. I taught school for 32 years at Central High School. I probably had some of your children that were precious, and I enjoyed every minute of it, but I think about them too. And I hope that they're voting. But I would always tell my kids, be careful. Know what you're doing. You don't have to do it fast. You can learn slowly, get it right, and it'll be right. So, I just want you to take this matter in careful consultation, and do what is right. I am not for this, I'm really not. We should not be voting on things, for any reason, a personal reason, or, personal things that have the perception of maybe being personal. I don't know, but it's not for personal gain, I know, I hope. But we're your voice, we're your voice, we are. Being an elected official means having the integrity to do what is right, and that's why I'm here tonight. As hard as it is for me to get to the car and get loaded up and come in here and sit, but I'm glad to be here. But let's do what's right. Are you our voice? Yes, you are. You are our voice, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Ms.
I know that my council members, Mr. Chris Williams, okay, I haven't met a lot of them. I know Miss Suzanne Ray, go to church with her. Mr. Todd Lau and Mr. Mike Brown. Where's Mike? Okay. And I hope that you as a council will listen to your constituents, because we have put our trust in you, and you ought to do what's right, and you're sitting there tonight and you can do it.
Thank you, Ms.
All of you, before you ever meet every week, and it doesn't come on my iPhone yet, I'm praying for you.
Thank you.
So, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you.
Was there anybody else that wanted to speak to anything on the agenda tonight? All right, we'll move on to standing committee reports. We'll start off with our energy report. Bolivar Energy Board met on April 29th. There was no action from the board taken, and that concludes the BEA report. Utilities, Mr. Jim Knuckles.
Good evening, Council, Mayor.
Good evening.
The utility board met May 1st, and what we discussed that the residents in New Hope and Smalley Road out here in the Middleton area have paid for their extension, all their gas tap fees, so we're going to extend a gas main for those customers, which is a total of about 17. TPUC came down and done another investigation on our public awareness program, and we passed it. Everything was in compliance. And also, we discussed on voting and raising the water and gas connection fees, which you can see on your, they're going from 50 to 100, and the reconnection fees are going from 25 to 50. We've got to do this to get up to par, because everything's getting expensive, and our new equipment has arrived. The water tank repairs down here at Lauderdale Street are complete. They did a total rehab inside and out, drained it, had to do a lot of welding and painting. And then gas prices were 65 cents again for the month of May, which is good. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Knuckles.
Thank you, Mr. Knuckles. Next, Fire Chief Price.
Good evening, Council, Mayor.
Good evening.
My report, total fire call, we had 30 fire calls. I had 18 in the city, had 12 in the county. Training hours, 217 training hours. Smoke alarm install was 11. Fire code inspection, 21. Public relation event, 3. Got couple things coming up. We've been working on start doing EMR, emergency medical response. I think we got 5 guys trained now. We got 1 guy taking the test next week. That's what we're gonna be able to start running EMR. That's being assisting the ambulance department, going to call, medical call before the ambulance get there. We hope to have this in place maybe first part of July. We just trying to ease into it. We gotta get some SOGs, SOPs written up before we start running. We got 8 more people waiting in line to get class. Maybe this fall we have them guys in class, so we're gonna start running EMR. Another thing we working on, we working with the school, middle school, trying to have a a first responder day, career day at the middle school next year, school year, August the 30th. We got it set up, got the time from 9 to 12. I'll be talking to you guys later on in the years, next couple months coming up about that right there. If y'all want to come over when we get it set, please come over and be part of it. But we're going to be working with the middle school doing a first responder career day. That's my report.
Those 8 people you talking about, you training, whatever, they just off the street, or some of them you already got?
EMR, yeah, we had some already, some of the guys already took the test. We got a couple of volunteers already trained to that level, so we got guys, they ready, they certified now. We just
Okay.
got to get some SOGs, SOPs in place before we start running, because we got to have something to govern us, how we run, make sure everybody doing the right thing,
Okay.
okay?
Let me commend you there, Chief, for starting that program, the EMR, because that would benefit the citizens of Bolivar,
Yeah.
especially when we don't have a 2 ambulance.
Just,
First responder going there, that would be tremendous for the citizens of Bolivar, and I want to commend the fire department and you for doing, starting that program up.
thank you, appreciate it. That's my report.
Thank you, Chief Price.
Right.
Next, Police Chief Jones.
Good evening.
Hey,
My report is as follows. 582 calls for service, 163 citations. We had 17 accidents, 2 were injury, 15 property damage, 40 arrests, 9 were juveniles, 31 adults. We didn't have any special events, and 238 training hours. Do you want to touch on that other thing on the agenda for me, or you gonna take care of it?
On the federal drug money thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get it.
okay. That includes my report, thank you.
thank you.
All right, thank you, Parks and Rec, Mr. Ford.
Council.
Good evening.
Parks and Rec reports on the following. City swimming pool has been tested. We have it up and running. For now, we're hoping to be able to maintain it for the duration of the summer. We have a lot of repairs that need to be done, but we may have to skip those. The adult exercise line dance class continues on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at the gymnasium, 5 p.m. Also, our pickleball free play continues Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And we are attempting to get a league, pickleball league. We'll put out a flyer and see if we can get interest in that. The youth basketball league for our 15 through 18-year-old, the high school level, they have already begun the registration, and it will run through May 31st, the end of this month. And lastly, we have begun registration for our summer golf league, and it will end Friday, May 17th, and we'll start on the first Wednesday of June. And that's a report.
Hey,
Thank you, Mr.
did we apply for a grant for the swimming pool, or we still working with that, or what?
No, we just got a quote back, and we looking at over
157,000 actually to
Uh,
repair.
we're still, I haven't moved on that yet, because we're still working on the YMCA project. I'm hoping to have like an update for y'all on that next month, so if that,
Okay.
goes through, the Y have an indoor pool there, so I don't wanna spend 150,000 on repairing that, and then.
And the YMCA project is like more like a $25 million project, is that right?
No, it's probably gonna be closer to 40-50 million dollars. So we, but we ain't, that's why I said I'm gonna get y'all.
I need a
back to it.
fan.
I hadn't put all that together yet.
So is the 157, is that just repaired or is that for a brand new?
No, it's just for the repairs.
That's just,
Yeah, it's a lot, a brand new swimming pool. I haven't priced a brand new swimming pool. I'm sure it's in the million. Yeah.
Are you talking about the YMCA that's gonna be possible built out there in West Bolivar?
yeah, we haven't, once I get all them numbers and all that, I will probably, hopefully have it next month. I'm meeting with them next week on it. So, but like I said, I didn't wanna, once we get to that, where we gonna move on with that, then we'll know better I don't wanna spend 150,000 to replace that, and then we move forward on this other project. So, we got it up to make it through this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Are they coming with a
Baby
price of what they
steps,
gonna pay?
baby steps.
That's what we meet with next week. I don't have all that ready to present to you. That's what I'm saying, I had it next month, probably. But that's more than just a pool. I mean, that's a sportsplex, a gym, fields. That's a lot more than just a swimming pool. So, but I got some of the plans in today, so we'll know more about that next month.
How much are the fees for the summer golf Is there a fee for that?
Registration for the Summer Golf League is $35. That includes the T-shirt that we provide as a golf shirt for all the kids, as well as lunch every time we meet. We provide lunch for them.
My salary is $350 a month, so I'll donate that and sponsor 10 kids in Bolivar if they want to do the summer golf. I'll sponsor that. So if you know of 10 kids or can get 10 kids that want to be a part of it, I'll sponsor them and pay for it out of my pocket.
Thank you. Sure, thank you.
Mr. Woods, did you have a question?
Well, the question I want to ask, when we talk about this pool, is this also the renovation of the pool house?
No, this was for leaks in the skimmers as well as the pipes, replastering. This was just repairing the pool. Yes, and we have issues with our pump, but I've been able to get it going, and we're maintaining it for now, and hopefully we can last throughout the summer.
Thank you, Mr. Ford.
Thank you.
Next, streets and sanitation, Mr. Mayfield.
Mr. Mayor, member of the council, department heads, and public, Jerry Mayfield, street and sanitation. Our report for this month is we picked up trash downtown as usual. We paved, our street paving is complete for this year. We started our weed eating and mowing. Tons taken to the landfills, 337.09 commercial, 168.10 residential, for a total of 505.19 tons. Bulky item pickup has ended for the month, or for this quarter. So
When will it happen again?
3 months.
July.
Yep.
Mr. Mayfield, do you have a list of the streets that were paved?
I do.
If you don't, you can get them to me later.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're 3rd Street, Beale Street, part of it, Meadowbrook,
Street over off, is it Morgan Street?
Morgan Street, yes, and Union between the bank and the Lafayette. Yeah. It would really need it because it dropped off pretty bad.
Did we ever do anything over on McNeil down beside the,
We cleaned it up and was going to pave, but there's some pipe issues and some line issues at the bottom of the hill that we're going to try to get resolved before we put any fresh pavement down and have to recut. That's the purpose for waiting.
Some more sewer stuff repaired.
Yes, yes.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayfield.
Thank you.
You have a library report. Next is compliance, Mr. Watkins.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Some years ago, I went to a county commissioners meeting, and they were talking about building a winery in Hardeman County. Jack Knapp stepped up to make his report, and he said, "I wish I had planned on speaking on raising grapes tonight." So I wish I'd planned on speaking on something different. But anyway, my report is, I had 6 building consultations, 2 permits written, 5 building inspections, 2 plumbing inspections, 1 mechanical inspection, 25 courtesy notices. I was gone April the 14th to the 17th to the TVOA conference for training. And we've got some updates on some of our properties that we're dealing with. One of them I was very well pleased with. The guy called me and talked to him, and he said, "Finally, I can talk to you about it because I've got a deed to it." But that's the one out on Karen Drive, and not sure yet exactly what's going to happen with it. One of 2 things: either they're going to repair it or they're going to tear it down and build. But you know, they bought it at a tax sale, and they really couldn't do anything. And I didn't know. Nobody told me it was a tax sale until we'd done been harassing this other lady for 2 years, and she wouldn't talk to us. So, you know. But anyway, we're trying to get all that back in order and get things on the agenda and get it lined up. We're going to try to have a slum meeting next month. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Watkins.
Thank you.
Next is tourism, community development, Mr. Hill.
Mayor and Council, report on, attended the Delta Regional Authority Grant Programs 101 class, assisted with 2 community meetings regarding the latest home grant project that we have going. We hosted Doug Stone to a sold-out crowd at the Louise Theater. hosted the Bethel Renaissance Choir at the Louise Theater, and assisted with the Spring Fling, hosted by Bolivar Main Street, that Mr. Ken Griggs put on. It was a great job by all involved with that. This Thursday night, we have Southern Gospel duo Jeff and Sherry Easter at the Louise. So if anyone is interested in tickets for that, you can let Carrie Beth know, and we will get you tickets for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Moving on, no old business, we move on to new business at the resolution 2024-006, authorizing the issues of capital outlay note, series 2024 for a front loader truck. It's the dumpster truck, you know, as we started that lease program, what they do, the buyback every 2 years. So we'll keep up-to-date equipment, and that's what this is. This resolution is authorizing us to do that capital outlay note. And what the interest rates we got, the lowest were from CBNS at 4.25. Simmons also came in at 4.25, and Centennial came in at 5.89. My recommendation is to go with CBNS Bank, just because they already have this previous loan on there now. It'll just be easier to keep it there with CBNS, that resolution with the interest rate being at 4.25.
Is this the one that, I'm looking on here where it said not to exceed $403,000, $323.79. Is that the loan we're going for?
Yes, sir.
400-some thousand?
Yeah, well, we'll do this, we'll sell the truck we have now. You don't have to know that amount they give it to. I don't remember the amount, but they give us.
I was told by Dave to try to get 310 for it.
Okay, they'll give us that, we'll pay this, so we'll be leasing it, instead of, we started this, I guess 4 or 5 years ago. So that's what it won't exceed that amount.
And what interest rate is this?
4.25, and that's at CBNS Bank.
Do we know what the interest rate was, Mayor and other ones?
Yeah, Simmons was 4.25, and Centennial was 5.89. Those were the only ones that. Any other questions on resolution 2024-006?
I'll make the motion that we approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Williams, there's a second by Ms. Miller. If you would, cast your votes.
Okay, let's see.
And working again.
I'm telling you, I got a bad,
They give you a different one every week.
it's just me. I'm trying to point it
Are
out.
you saying yes or no?
Yes.
All right, you open it, close it up.
I don't know, seriously.
Motion carried. Here, take the battery out of mine.
I don't know how to do all that.
We did it last time. All right.
Man's work.
Next on the, next we have the opening of a new bank account for federal drug money. So,
What we gonna do?
so what happens, and Mike has, if you have any questions, you ask him, any of the federal drug cases that they do, we have to put it in a separate account, and those can only be used, on certain, drug purchases, drug-related purchases, and it has to be an account by itself. What this is, open up another account at one of the local banks and to put that in there. I think right now, how much you got to put in there?
It's over 45, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, so, I just need approval to open up a bank account to put that federal drug fund money in.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. McKinney, a second by Mr. Williams. You would cast your votes. Look at there, look at there.
See, I told y'all I had a bad battery the whole time. Wasn't even me.
Motion carried. Next, we have the approval for certificate of compliance. I hope this gentleman is not here, because I could not say this, but Dajit sign.
I think it's Singh.
You say it then, what is that?
Daljit Singh.
No, I guess Daljit ain't here.
What's his last name?
Singh is the last name.
No, you got another name.
Kirat.
Correct. Doing business as Hatchet Spears. What basically this is, right now, this will be a sale, the business is selling. In order for them to close this deal, we have to approve the certificate of compliance. You should have this letter here from Mr. Watkins approving it, as well as the background check. Let me get to that part. This also have here the application from them filling out, as well as their background check being approved. That's basically all we need to approve it, but I have to bring it to the council, or we could do it at the beer board, but this meeting was coming quicker, so instead of holding off that sale for another month for the beer board to meet, I just put it on the council's agenda to pass it, so we don't delay their transaction. Say that again? Selling spirits, yes. That's probably not the same spirits you preach about, but they be selling Hatchet spirits. Yes, sir. Any other question?
This a business opening up somewhere?
Well, no, they'll just be buying the current liquor store. They have Hatchet spirits.
Oh, okay, I see now.
Yeah. Is
So
there
it's
a,
already there?
Yeah, it's already.
Oh, okay.
Is there a motion?
We approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Golden. Is there a second by Mr. McKinney? If you would cast your votes. I'm sorry. Any other question? All right, if you would cast your votes. You on top of it. I want my batteries back out.
No, you don't need your battery.
Motion carried. Now we'll move on to the discussion of city elections. I sort of give y'all a background on how we got here and where we at. You give me a few minutes, I can try to go through all this and answer questions. And also Miss Amber, I thought I saw her. Okay, there she is back in the corner. All right, so first I'll just tell y'all this is nothing that we just brought up or nothing that was new. This has been being discussed I know it was discussed, like Mayor Stevens said, when I was on council when he was in office, as well as since we've been here. If y'all recall, we had a meeting, probably it's been 6 years ago at the Biscuitry. We talked about it there, and then we had another meeting at the theater with a retreat, I guess you would say. We talked about it there. But what this is, right now we have our city election is what we call a standalone election. There's no other election that happens in the county other than the city of Bolivar's on odd years. And what we have been proposing, this wasn't a local idea. This is happening all across the state. Out of 300 cities, 280, I think it's 81, 281 cities have already made this move, as well as every other city in Hardeman County. So what it boils down to is two reasons. Cost, and in my opinion, the most important reason is voter participation. If you look at the last, and I gave all y'all a copy of this, but you can take one and pass it down. If you don't have it, you can look back at it again. So we'll just look at the last three city elections. In May of 2023, the city spent right at $10,000 out of 3,298 people registered to vote in the city of Bolivar. 400 voted. So less than 20%, I think it's close to 18% of the population decided to elect to the 4 council members that's here. And that was in 23. If we had had that same election in the even year with the state primary or the state general election, you would have had 1,100 people that voted in 22. If you go to the mayor's election in 21, city paid a little over $12,000 for 1,000 people to vote. That same election, if it was held in an even year. Now, in August of 2020 was COVID, so that number was screwed a little. But in November of 2020, you had right at a little over 1,900 people that came out and voted. So the voter participation doubles when it's put on a state general election. And we don't, and I'll correct Mayor Stevens, it might have changed since he's been out of office, but if we move this election, we won't have to pay for it at all. So this only thing we have to pay for is an ad in the paper, which would run probably $200, I guess.
So it'll be free?
Yes, we wouldn't have to pay for it. So the two things that we're looking at in this is voter participation, and yes, ma'am, Ms. Allen.
Okay, you would pay for the ads, but you also might have a few supplies. That
Okay.
would be, and let me just verify, the prices of stuff is gonna go up, we got new machines, you've never used them for the city of Bolivar. It's all a different process, it's more stuff to go for them and everything. I'm just here to feed the information, I mean, it's y'all's vote, but, or whenever you decide to do whatever, but it's not gonna get cheaper. So whereas you pay 12,000, I would say a minimum of 15,000 is what's probably gonna cost you the next election.
So,
That's about 3,000 more.
What is the cost based on?
Pardon?
What is the cost based on?
The cost is based on, you've got employees, you've got supplies, you've got machines, contract laborers. I mean, it's
Miss
everything that's
Albert,
involved in putting the election on.
Ms. Albert, can you come up here and say that? They can't hear you online.
And I can't see her either.
I'm sorry, Ms. Albert. And Ms. Amber's our county election commission's.
What I was saying is that because we've got different machines and everything, the cost is gonna be higher. Y'all have never had them for a city election. And so it's gonna cost more because with these machines, you've got toners, you're printing the ballot. And what you have to understand is when you plan an election, we have to plan on the majority voting. I can't have y'all come in and, okay, we run out of supplies just because of what your past history's been. But like I said, you know, it's a possible saving because y'all stagger your elections every 2 years of saving over 30,000. Like I said, don't matter to me, it's my job, we put on elections. But, yeah, it would be a substantial savings for the city. And like I said, I do know it's probably the minimum will probably be 15,000. It's all programmed and done, everything's different. And like I said, because the last election cost me more for what I had in March.
Are there any other questions from Ms. Allen? All right, thank you.
Okay, and it's not something new. I think every official, I mean, most officials have either been in my office and discussed this, and I won't even go into some of the stuff that the reasoning is why I was given, but I just want to put this out there. If y'all look at the numbers before, 1 year y'all had 77 people to vote. 2 weeks of early voting and election day, that cost you 10 grand. And it's less than 2 years of extended. What you have to understand is the people put y'all in office for 4 years. So therefore, you can't change your election type and take any of your 4 years away. So you can't extend. So like I said, it's just, I mean, this is not anything that's been new. Everybody's approached me all over the county, but it's just something for you to think about for the citizens of your community.
Can I ask a question? How many people
Hold on.
have voted in the last election?
I just said that, Mayor Steve. Hold on, I don't want to start back and forth with the crowd, but last election, 402 people voted, to answer your question. Go ahead, Ms. Allen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think Mr. McKenna was about to
Did you
ask.
want, okay, Mr.
What? You didn't answer the question now. Okay, that's all right.
Okay. And like I said, y'all know if you have any other questions, y'all more than free, come out to my office or give me a call. And if I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you.
Who determined the amount when you're saying 15,000?
Well, that's just the cost of stuff. No.
Y'all board does that?
Our county commission, no, the election commission has to charge for whatever we're charged. We don't make any money off of it, that's for sure. But you're charged for the supplies and the workers. So, I mean, it's just that's the elections. I mean, it's.
Well, you got, you saying that, what, so many people voted last time, and you got a new machine now.
That wasn't my.
It's gonna cause it, huh?
It wasn't my choice, let me tell you.
I understand that.
I liked what we had.
That was gonna be my question, is that, since that, we got a new machines going now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you got a state election, you got a county election, 2026. That ballot's gonna be long.
Not if you're in August, probably not the August, the November possibly might be.
Well, August, November, whenever it's gonna be.
But you're just gonna
the
get your
problem I'm
city
gonna
whatever you
have
have.
Is that you got elderly people that's gonna vote, new machine, we already having problems.
It's paper
There you
ballot
go.
though. That's the person reading a ballot, paper ballot, what the people wanted.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that you got elderly people, that even me, I'm elderly. see a ballot that's long, like me, I did it before, guilty, been there and done that. When you get a long ballot, you get tired. Then you gonna start flipping. So, that don't guarantee that we're gonna have more people voting because of that, changing the election.
Well,
That don't necessarily mean that we're gonna do that. It's probably still lower, so people probably won't vote at all, but they're gonna put us at the bottom. Most of the city elections gonna come after the federal, after the state. Then it comes under the city, then the city. Then you talking about throwing Bolivar in there, what we gonna be, you know? So I just don't see this. $3,000, we burning $3,000 almost every day up here. $3,000, that ain't nothing. With our budget, nothing.
you say $3,000.
Well, you said 12, then you
It's
go
going
to
50.
15.
Yeah, oh,
Now,
yes,
when
I thought,
was
okay.
in
Yeah.
elementary, it was $3,000.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what it is now.
No, I was just trying to understand, you thought $3,000 was it.
So
No.
all I'm
So-
saying is that, let me finish, Mayor. What I'm saying is that, it's not gonna change anybody. And are y'all gonna be, having classes where people can come and learn how to run the machine and stuff?
It's not running the machine, Mr.
I mean, get the
McKinney.
pallet, get the
You're just
paper.
getting a piece of paper is what you're getting and check marking who you want. You're not working the machines. You come in, you're in district so-and-so, whatever. It's keyed in, the election worker prints your ballot for you. You go to a spot and you check mark who you want. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah, and it
It's
goes
not the
into
machine.
then.
Well, it goes into a scanner, yes.
Right, right. I know how to
Yeah.
operate. I'm not slow. I'm not that slow anyway. But anyway, I'm through.
Okay.
I got the other things to lay down.
Okay, did you, go ahead, Mr. Wood.
I know everybody's kind of split with this. Why don't we, Mr. Mayor, do this kind of like what we was talking about out of three-way? We got voters here that got their opinion on whether they like to move it or whether they don't like to move it. Why don't we just kind of maybe do it like we done three-way? Let's find out and see how.
A referendum.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
how
I go with
many
that. That's
is in agreement to do it, how many is not?
So,
So
you
that
talking
way-
about a public meeting or a referendum? So if you're talking about a referendum, that won't, legally, that's not the process.
Oh.
So you can't do a referendum. This board is gonna have to vote yes or no. Now, if you're talking about having a public meeting, yes, that's no issue.
I think
But,
that would be,
Is
that
state
way,
law?
Yeah, the state law is a private act, we would have to do it by charter.
Is that it, city attorney? We're gonna make you money tonight. Is that it? Is that?
The charter would have to be amended,
It have to be amended
yes,
before, but we can do it once, if we pass that charter.
as long as you comply with the various provisions.
So it's possible that it can be done.
Oh, it can be done, there's
Okay,
been a bunch.
okay.
Hold on, let me clear that up.
I don't want you to say it can't be done.
With a, hold on, wait a minute, let me clear what you're saying though. With a referendum,
Right, that's what I asked him.
so he's asking, can it be done by referendum is what
Oh, amending the charter?
Yes.
As I understand it, no.
That's
Based
all.
upon the TCA, and I think the former mayor brought that up, of they passed some statutes, and I just got wind of this on late Friday, so I was doing some research today about it, and a lot of cities have been doing it. They've passed, as long as you comply with the various things in the new law, I think that was passed, I believe, was it 2010?
10.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
you can do it, but it's a process. It's not a simple process as you think, but it can be done. And a lot of the cities have done it.
Yeah, I think
For
I'm
the
talking
same
loud
reasons
enough
they
they can
do.
hear me.
Well, the city attorney and MTS would help you do it. The
Yeah.
council gets one chance to do it by you voting it. And if you decided you wanted to do it and you did it, and then you say you didn't like it, the next time it'd have to go before the General Assembly to move it back to another way. You get one chance for you guys to vote it that way. The second time would be if you decide you don't want to do this, you'd have to go through the procedures and everything and
you
go
can't-
before the General Assembly to do it.
And you can't take it backwards, you can only go forward, but not to exceed, what is it,
Right.
24 months?
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
you're
it's
talking about
listen-
changing the ordinance.
No, so I'm talking about if
Changing
you
the
were, if you were to
referendum.
change your election, let's just say right now, okay, you voted and you wanted to change your election, You eight would vote that you wanted to change it, let's say, to an August election. All right, if you saw in a year or two you didn't like that or whatever, then if you were to want to change it back to something, you would have to go before, the council would have to draw it up for it to go before the General Assembly in Nashville to change it. You get one chance just to vote it on yourself right here in Bolivar. The next time, if you wanted to change it, would go before General Assembly.
Okay, the problem I have with that, Miss Amber, the General Assembly just voted
I
in
know.
March to
Right.
change this. They didn't come before us. They went before the General Assembly. I got it right here.
That's,
Let me pop it up to you.
yeah, pop up.
I'm done with.
That's incorrect, Larry.
That's not incorrect.
Go
Here it
ahead.
is, House Bill 2770. Somebody will look it up later on. Senate Bill 2609 is stating that introduce and require city statewide to adopt an ordinance to align the election with the August and November general election beginning in 2026. That bill failed.
Right.
That's to require
That's to require city. Well,
You
okay,
can still-
but it
On the
went
road.
before the city. It went before the General Assembly. You keep saying it comes to us first, but not necessarily. It went to the General Assembly first.
Right. But
Let
that's-
me-
That's what I'm saying.
That's a different.
Let me clear it up, Larry.
No different.
Yes, well, I'm not gonna argue with you with it.
Oh no, you can't argue with me.
All right, I'm not gonna try. So here's where,
Try it.
here's
Don't try
where,
it, buddy.
here's where it's at. There was a bill that was presented. That bill that you're referring to, House Bill 2770, was a bill to require the cities that have
Require,
not
that's right.
changed it to change it. That bill failed in committee. That's correct. But that did nothing to change the fact that this can be done on the local level, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's
So-
true. I agree with that.
So we on the
But
same
if the
page
state
on
gonna
that.
vote no, well, Mr. McKinney vote no.
So
in this
let's-
city election.
So that's fine. That's completely okay. I knew we
If
both
they
knew
can vote no, I can vote no.
we both knew where you stood on it.
Yeah, I know you do.
So, but there's outside of that, outside of that, to answer your question, Mr. Wood, if we would like to do that, that's fine. But the state, if you go through this task report here, it shows, and if you go and read the minutes and listen to that meeting, the reason that the state didn't do it is because they wanted the local people to make that decision. The state felt the local people would do what was best for their communities.
Right, right.
So it didn't take away anything, didn't add anything. That bill was to force us to do it.
Right.
And the state said, we're not gonna force y'all to do it, and you do what you decide to do. So what I was trying to get through before we started all this was, those were the issues that was brought before us. So if we don't change it, everything stays where we are. But in order to change it, it's, a referendum can be put in place, but you can't do this by referendum. It has to be done with a ordinance and a charter change. So this board here has to vote on it. There's no way around this board not voting on it. So I was clearing that up. Any other questions?
So, whenever I heard about this a few weeks ago, I'm kind of torn. I understand the pros and I understand the cons of it. The pros is it is a cost saving, and being an elected official, we have to be fiscal responsible with the taxpayers' money, right? And also, I think that everyone's in agreement that we want more voter turnout. But I'm also for transparency, and I'm for integrity in the election, and I'm for listening to my constituents. Ms. Ross, thank you for being here. I know it's not easy for you to get out. And everyone that came, I really appreciate it, because this is what we need to see and hear. Y'all vote for us. Y'all elected us. And I feel like that sometimes that gets lost in reality. I'm here because the people of my district voted and allowed me to be their voice. And so where I stand on it is I think that it's too late to change it for this election. I think that had we done this 2 years ago or after the next election, I would be for it. It does make sense in a lot of ways. but I'm not for exchanging a short-term gain of $15,000 or whatever. We don't even know what it's going to be. That's just a guess. For long-term ripple effects in the city of Bolivar. There's people in this crowd right now that does not trust some of the members on this board. And some of them may be me, because they think that some of what's done is for personal reasons, is for reasons not in the best interest of Bolivar. And so what I'm not for is exchanging a dollar amount to compromise the integrity of this board, the upcoming election. We are 6 months from petitions being pulled for this election. 6 months. And so that's what I am against. I'm not for it. I don't agree with it. I'm not going to put our attorney on the spot. But one of the things I did find troubling as well is I did talk to our attorney last Friday, and I was the first one that has called him about this. We are talking about changing an election, and he is not being called until I called him this past Friday about this. That's very, very troubling to me. This is a huge deal. This is a big deal. Our lawyer should have been in on the conversation with this, even if it is legal. That's why we pay him, is to get advice. And so, I don't know, I'm for transparency. Going back to transparency, on the agenda it said discussion on elections. That's very, very vague. That doesn't tell you nothing. It should have been explained. We are proposing to extend term limits or something similar, because the average person does not know what we're going to talk about. We should give the citizens of Bolivar a chance to come speak, be heard. I know that we have to put a time limit, but I don't like that we cut people off after 2 or 3 minutes talking. They came, they showed up, they elected us. The least we can do is show them the respect and give them the opportunity to be heard. And so that's where I stand on it. I'm for doing what's right, and doing what's right sometimes isn't popular. It isn't, always easy, but I'm for transparency, integrity, and doing what's right, and that's how I stand.
Hold on, I want to address that, and then I'm going to give you the floor.
Thank you.
Chris, I agree with you, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago. I speak to Mr. Kevin often, and we go back and forth. This is nothing new. We didn't just put this on the agenda. I'm not trying to force an action to be taken tonight or vote on this back and forth. That's not the case. So in full transparency, this discussion started years ago. And out of full transparency, I gave the respect to each and every council member up here to share what we will be talking about tonight. And I did that with everybody, and we all talked, and everybody told me their plus and pros and cons on the issue. And in transparency, we put numbers out. We put out the reason why this board to make this decision. For you to say or try to act as if though we were trying to cover up something or something like that, that was not the case. I've been transparent. The agenda item is what it is. That we don't have an ordinance here to vote on. This is the purpose of that agenda item is what we're doing tonight. So, we've been transparent. These numbers, the cost savings is there. The numbers, we don't make this up. The voter turnout is more. There's no denying that. This report, and the reason it was brought up now, and I explained that to you and every other council member, we didn't bring it up 2 years ago before the previous election because of the bill that Mr. McKinney made a reference to. So didn't feel it would make sense to bring this up before the council, and the council make a decision, then the state come in 6 months later or a year later and say, well, you're going to do this. So we held off. This catastrophe report is 75 pages in here. This discussion started in 19, and a lot of mayors have been called and talked about it. This has all been in here. The reason it's up at this meeting is because, like Mr. McKinney mentioned, the bill died last month. So the bill died in March. So once the bill died in March, I felt April was going to be too soon to put this on here, and that's why I brought it up now. And we've been kicking this can down the road for years. I know you haven't been up here for those years that we've been talking about it, but other members have, and I knew Mr. McKinney stood on it when we talked the other day. That we've been open about all of it, so we haven't, not included anybody. The attorney didn't know because it was an agenda item that it wasn't a legal issue that was going to be, whether it was right or wrong or anything like that. The procedure and the process is already laid out. This is not a local issue that it's a local issue that we're voting on, but this procedure is not done locally. The state has been talking about it. Ms. Amber will tell you, this conversation has been going on for years, like years and years and years and years. The procedure in the place is already in place. So I just wanted to clear that up and let it be known that this wasn't just thrown on the agenda last minute, and we talked. And I knew this would be an item that was gonna need a lot of discussion. And you guys know, as a council, I talk to all of y'all individually throughout the week or month or whatever, but I don't talk to you about necessarily an agenda item and meet with you in person like this, but I felt this needed some attention. So how do I get the word out to the community? I talk to everybody up here, and y'all go back and talk to the people that y'all represent. So we've been having this conversation, this dialogue back and forth. I just wanted to be known that it wasn't anything we just tried to hide or just to throw in here like this. So, we talked.
So I'm
about
gonna
that.
clarify what I said. I never said that anything was trying to be covered up or anything, but I'm telling you, the people in the audience who sends all of us messages and ask us why it wasn't put on there, they're saying that it's vague. They're saying that they don't know what's going on. It's them, the people that came here tonight. We never had this many people here. They think that it's vague, not me, because I understand what's going on. I'm not saying nothing's being covered up. I'm saying that it's vague. We knew what we were going to be talking about. We knew that the proposal was to extend the term limits. There would have been no problem putting that on the agenda so people could see it. So I'm telling you what the constituents say,
Okay, well.
the people in the crowd.
Sorry that we
That's
didn't
what
add
they're
that
saying.
to the list.
Or just something to that effect. But saying that we're going to have a discussion on elections, it's like talking about the weather. It can go a million different ways. You can talk about anything.
Right.
So I'm not making no accusations on what's been covered up or what's not being covered up or whatever. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel on it.
One question, please.
Go.
Mr. Mayor, I think the best way for us to do it, and that's the Robert's Rules of Order, is to suspend the rules.
Right, hold on, before we do that, let's let Ms. Miller, she been.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
Go ahead,
yes.
Ms. Miller. Yes, and then we'll.
Okay.
Thank you. So my issue is timing is everything, and also the way things appear. And when you're in government, how things look matters more than the truth, because how do people perceive it? It's no secret that you're not going to run for mayor next time. You've already told us that. So this would extend your term a year and a half, and that is, I don't think a coincidence that it's going to fall in when you plan to run for state representative for Johnny Shaw's position. So that's already, we already know that's what's happening. So if you're going to resign, and then you would have a year and a half where I guess you would have to sell insurance or whatever, or you could keep doing this job. Now, I'm just saying, to me, it feels manipulative, and it feels self-serving. And we have been talking about this for a long time. I've been here when you all have discussed it, and I agree. I've always said, seems like it would be better, and I hear both sides. But the timing of it right now, especially when initially the plan, I believe, was John Shaw was gonna resign and give you the position, and when it was more timely for when your term ended, and then now they've said, well, maybe you're gonna have to actually run for the seat, and now you're gonna extend it. It just doesn't look right to me. And for that reason, I can't support it. It's a good idea. We need to, but it's too big of an idea to just throw in and have one meeting and we're gonna vote on it today. It needs to be some public discussion. If we don't do a referendum, we need to have a lot more conversation. It is a big deal. It is changing our charter, and you don't change the Constitution on willy-nilly. And that is my concern, and for that, I can't support it.
Okay, thank you for that. I want to address some of that. If this was self-serving for me, I would just leave it like it is and run for election. I don't feel like I would have any problem winning re-election, and I would just stay in office and resign.
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
But this has nothing to do with me being self-serving, but I respect your opinion. But go ahead, you want to
If Mr.
Open
Mayor
up,
wanted
yeah.
to speak under the Robert Rules of Order,
You wanna
we
make a
can
motion to
suspend the
rules?
rules,
Go ahead.
whereas anybody can speak then.
So if you
So
understand
I'm
what y'all
making a
saying, if we suspend the rules, we can go into public session, so.
Yeah,
go
right,
ahead.
correct.
You wanna make a
I
motion
make
to-
a motion that we suspend the rules.
We have a motion to suspend the rules, go into public hearing, motion by Mr. McKinney, second by Mr. Williams. All in favor, cast your votes. Well, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, come on, Mr. Steve.
And that's anybody, if y'all wanna
Thank
get
you.
up
My
and
question's
talk.
pretty simple. It's not controversial, but
No limit on it.
on, when we implement this thing, having gone through this before, when we went to 8 people, you remember that, Ms. Wood? You know, the problem we had was no problem doing it, setting it up, but you got half the council that gets elected one election, and the other half comes along 2 years later, isn't that correct?
Correct.
All right, some of us are gonna get an extra year added to it, some of us are not. Now, how's it-
No, everybody will be extended.
All right,
All of
everybody
it.
gets extended.
Yes,
All
uh-huh.
right, well, the next question that I have, is everybody in here agreement in taking another additional year on your term and putting up with the ramifications of that? Because you haven't really been elected, you've been appointed to receive another, that's the opinion of the general public. They're just adding another year or 2 years, which is doable. Just like the mayor pointed out, that y'all actually can do that yourself. It doesn't have to go to the state anymore. But now that, I guess what I'm asking is show of hands, are you willing to take that and do that? Everybody, do you want 1 year or 2 years? Are you duly elected? That's the question I'm asking. And that's the people, the coffee shop bunch wearing me out. What little knowledge, and I don't know, all I know is what gossip out here in the community. But that is the thing. I said, well, they get that one up, and then the next term, they'll appoint them another 2 or 3 years. So, I mean, I'm telling y'all that for information more than anything whatsoever, but be real concerned about how you're gonna implement it, when you do it. You're gonna have 2 people. You're gonna have half of you gets elected and half of you comes along the next time. And big problems making it happen. And whether you're getting a personal something out of it, I don't know. But it goes back a lot longer than even before I came on. They did that purpose-wise, and all the discussion we had, we like it because the city of Bolivar can do it. We're not doing a good enough job, I say we, myself included, getting people out to vote. But like Chris said, information and the Facebook we are doing better with computers and stuff. It puts people out there and getting involved and stuff. But now that's just my point. I do appreciate this board. I think you're doing good. I do think that election money is important, but it's a piddling. What their garbage truck costs, $400,000. We're in big business, and the voters are real important. We need to get every voter we can, and I can't help it because we can't get people there. But I do know that it gets involved. The older I get, the more involved the ticket gets to vote. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Is there a motion to reconvene back?
Oh,
in-
no.
Was anybody?
Oh, no, I came here to talk. I'm not like Anthony when he went to Cleopatra's bedroom. I came here to talk. So thank you, Mr. McKinney, for once in a lifetime, I can say I'm proud that you did this. So, and I would like to say to my peeps, thank y'all for coming out when I called y'all, because let me ask y'all something. How many of y'all know what the preamble of the Constitution? I bet nobody up here can tell me the first 5, 6 words of it. What it say? We the people of the United States. in order to form a more perfect union. Establish justice. Ensure domestic tranquility. And I can go on. I'll let y'all know that I'm smart. But let me tell y'all this. What I see here tonight is injustice to the people. And I hear Ms. Moore talk about what it costs for an election. Let me tell y'all why people don't vote. Because they don't see a reason to vote. You give a person a reason to vote, and they will vote. People see this city is stagnated. They don't see any change. That's why they don't vote. You could have one on whatever you say 2 years from now. People still not going to vote. They don't see a reason. And this is why. But I'm proud of y'all tonight for speaking out against this. And Caroline, I appreciate you just bringing it to the forefront. This is about the 80th district, Johnny Shaw. This is about Captain Save somebody. You know, and I don't want to go to, but I think it's just absolutely ridiculous that you would wait to the eve of an election and bring this to the forefront. You don't think about the people, but I'm finna get the people woke. I got these high heels on for a reason. I'm tired of y'all sitting there and not being transparent and letting the people think that, again, Ms. Amber, you run the elections. However, you talking about $10,000. If it's $20,000, y'all don't care about spending taxpayers' money because you waste so much of it on some things that are not important. Elections are important. If you have them every other year, have these elections, educate the people, get people interested in voting, but don't have these personal agendas for certain people to get elected. If you want to get elected, get elected. You can get elected. Don't be afraid. Run. That's what you're supposed to do. But don't try to set an agenda because you're so set up and you're going to get caught in your setup. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing. Y'all need to stop playing with people. Stop playing with people and people's lives. Because these people, I think about the young kids here. There's nothing for our kids to do. No jobs. And you all don't try to reach out to the community to do anything, but you want to sit up here and dictate who gets in office. The 80th district, what we got up there, needs to be thrown out of office. Not put out, thrown out. Okay? And I'm going to speak my mind. I don't care if I'm in the White House or the outhouse. I'm going to tell it like it is. And it's time out for people playing with people's livelihood and people's lives. I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm here and I brought my peeps out. And we're going to get ready to move some people out of office. Because y'all just not going to continue to sit here and play with us. You want to play, go buy you a toy at Walmart. Because you're not going to play with the people no more. I came here to serve you notice tonight that this game is up. It's up. Get your house in order. No Nebuchadnezzar, the handwriting is on the wall. And I see it. And I'm going to tell it. And I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to talk about it. And it's time out. You hear me? I'm talking to all of y'all. You start voting for what is correct and what is right. This is wrong. And you need to send a message tonight that no, we're not going to do this to people. And I'm here watching, and the audience is watching. Go on and do y'all vote tonight and see. See who all sits in them seats the next couple of years. Watch me now. I'm through.
Thank you, Ms. Woods.
You got it, baby.
Is that, I guess there's nobody else, I'll make a motion.
Oh, wait a minute.
Bethany used to be.
Bethany's, okay.
Good evening. I just want to know, does it matter if we do it now or later?
What do you mean?
Do we have to do it right now?
No, ma'am, you can do
We
it
got
now.
voted tonight. We're
No,
not
I'm just
voting.
asking. I'm saying before this next election, the election they're
No,
talking
ma'am,
about.
first of all, I don't have a dog in this race. You can do it anytime you want to. This is the city of Bolivar's thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got enough trouble in Hornsby. But anyway, just read about it. But anyway, but no, ma'am, it doesn't have to be done before this election. I mean, if you wanted to do it after this election's over, no,
Would it cost the same? That's what I think I'm trying to say, because you were saying that it's gonna cost less.
Yes, ma'am, the elections are gonna go up. I mean, that's
So it's
out of my
gonna go
control.
up.
I mean, and with y'all staggering your elections, of course, I mean, I'm trying to maybe, I'm not even really highballing it, to be honest with you, but you're talking probably about 30,000 every 2 years. So, I mean, no, it doesn't have to be done now. It can be done after next, it does, I mean, it's up to this city council as to what they see best. But, you know,
Well, I was thinking that we needed to wait, but it won't matter, because no matter when you do it, somebody have to be extended or cut short.
no, nobody's cut short.
It
Nobody's
will
cut
be
short.
extended.
That's right. Everybody, like, say, for instance,
So it really won't matter.
no,
I
ma'am,
think that before
everybody
the
would be
election
extended.
happens, a person would need to know that. Just so you know, on this election cycle, if you run and you get elected, your term is going to be this or
Extended,
that. Because just like he said, that's not fair. The people elected us to be here for 4 years.
You
Not-
get 4,
not five
yeah.
and a half.
You can't.
So we need to let people know before they vote and people before they run what they getting themselves into. Because maybe they don't want to do 5.5 years. Maybe they have a plan and they got something they have going on. So also to spring it on a person who's been elected and who was intending to be here for 4 years and then say, oh, you need to do another 1.5 years. You have no idea what I plan to be doing in 4 years. I might be in DC by then.
But now, either way it goes, you're gonna have an extension, so.
Yeah.
But at
That's
least
what-
if
that's
they
what I'm
know
saying.
that
But
before.
But what I'm saying is, there's always gonna be a sitting group here
Right.
that's gonna always not have that option.
Right.
That makes any sense.
I think the biggest
It's
thing,
already out there, then they'll be knowing. We'll know. In the next, say if we don't do this election, just let everybody know. When we have this next election, this is what's gonna happen.
But
And I
what
think that's-
you're not, hold on, Chris, I'm gonna give you the floor.
Yeah, no, you're
What
good.
I'm saying is, well, let's say we do this and start this in 26 or 27.
There you go.
That sitting group, half of that sitting group is all automatically gonna be extended. You're always gonna have a sitting group up here. So like she was saying, you're gonna always have the issue of somebody being up here and being extended.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying is hopefully they would know that before they run
Right.
or rerun. They would know that before they put their name in the hat, and the people would know that that's what's happening, not
think-
after the fact.
I think the biggest thing, Bethany, is we are 6 months from pulling petitions. Say we wait just theoretically to May 2025 or July and say, hey, we're going to change this. There's not another election for 2 more years.
Right.
People have a heads up. They understand what's coming.
Right.
The biggest thing that I'm hearing from constituents, Barrett, Janie, people all out there, is that they don't like the last minute. They don't like that. It's just the icky feeling. 6 months before the election, you try to change it. It has the perception of looking bad.
Well, you're a year away from your
Well,
election. You keep
well,
saying six months.
you pull
People
peti-
not being notified.
You-
No, let me please speak for a moment. You're saying not be, I just want to clarify, like, again, what's that? I don't care. But the election is 1 year away. This is May.
You pull petitions in January. The election is in May. So we are 6 months. I said 6 months from pulling petitions. That's what I said. I never said the election is 6 months away. I said you pull petitions in
But
6
you're
months.
saying people not being notified. If I'm just saying for instance.
That's the wrong person. I didn't say anything about people. That's Caroline. I'm saying that you pull petitions in 6 months is what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Caroline said notify. I said petitions in
But
6
that's what
months.
I'm also saying, you still say the 6 month petition and knowing, the fact of the matter is, if, whether you vote or not vote on it, let's just say you voted and it passed tonight, then the people who are gonna be picking up petitions and the people that have the opportunity to run are gonna know in a year that they've got this opportunity to do this. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. 6 month petition, I mean, Miss Brenda can tell you, she's picked on the day of the last day to pull. I mean,
Very strategic.
Some people do, some people don't.
well,
It's a whole move.
And let me say something. Look like everybody been talking and everybody ready to go home and everything else.
Well, I
But
just wanna
this
say-
is serious though. This is serious. Like, go ahead.
Let her finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
had the floor.
Go ahead.
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say that I think that it is a good idea. I do wonder about timing. And Mayor Matizik, you've mentioned that we've been talking about it. It's amazing that we've been talking about it and the people don't know. I think that's what Chris is saying. People in office might know. The people are the ones who need to know. And that's we didn't know. And so that's what we're talking about. It's not that the elected officials don't know. The community needs to know. And that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. I'm sorry, Commissioner Miller, that's what I-
Go ahead, Ms. Bowles.
Yeah, what we normally do in every situation come up, we try to look to save money, and that's what we usually do. But if you want to spend more money, we vote no. Want to spend less money, vote yes. So it's all opinion about what you want to do. If you want to spend more money,
Hold on, let them have it. Go ahead, go.
well, I'm just saying, you know, we vote on that too. Whatever gonna vote on it, and then that's where it's gonna be. You know, whatever the deal is, you're gonna vote on. So I'm just saying, we normally, if we got something going on, it's a bid or whatever, we usually take the lowest bid. All about saving money, but if we want to spend money, you know, we do that route. You know, so just everybody just vote the way you feel. You know, and we still shake hands, come out and be friends. And whatever, you know, but vote the way you feel. Whatever you feel is right. Now, normally we try to save money, but if we want to spend more money, you know, just vote that way.
I think the difference between this and a bid on a tractor, the difference is not just about the amount of a truck or getting a lower bid. It's it's changing our whole charter, and that is the difference.
And I'll make that
That's
clear
big.
too. Once we, whatever action we take, whether we take action tonight or we don't take action tonight, the final vote on this won't happen till after the charter, like she mentioned, the charter change which would have to go to Nashville in January and pass in Nashville, and you have to be back and vote on it again. So that's we have to go through that.
Well, the charter won't go to Nashville until we vote.
No,
Let's pass here, right?
How we done it in the past, and that was another reason I brought it. We vote, pass it or don't pass it, whatever. And the reason I do that is because if we do, it's a lot to go through a charter change. So I don't really care to do much charter change and to send it to Nashville only to be voted back down. So what we've done,
So if we vote no, you still gonna send it to?
no, if I don't have the votes to send it, no, I don't send it.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
All right, yeah, But we usually discuss it before,
Right. Well, we gonna have public hearings, right?
Well,
Meetings and stuff
that's,
like that.
I'll leave that
Well,
up
I'm,
to
well,
this.
I'm,
Okay, I think what done happened is sometimes we forget about peoples that really put us here. A lot of times we're based off of what we want, but we got to stop long enough to listen to what they saying. I've gotten a bunch of phone calls, and this come from election. People call me. Some people ain't never called me, calling me. Want to know why we changing it. You know, why so soon? Have you given it any thought what you're doing? So, you know, I think what we need to do, Mr. Mayor, again, is that we need to take some time to listen to the one that put us in office. I really do. And I understand that we may not be able to do it, but many that still don't know what's happening here in this office tonight. And I think we need to give them that right to know. They know when election, they know who they want to vote for. Only thing we're just their mouthpiece. So it's not about us. I don't care how we feel, what we think about it. They're the one that put us in office.
And that, saying that, I know Mr. Melvin was talking about vote your feelings, but it's time for us to vote what's right.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing here, is to vote what's right. And like Ms. Miller was stating, County Commissioner Miller, stating that we are worried. Yeah, we've been talking about this for years. I agree with you, Mayor. We sure have. But the citizens is not aware. And that's what the kicker is. So I think we need to have more public hearings or whatever it takes, because we're not in a big hearing. I don't think, hopefully, the world not coming in tomorrow. If it is, you better get right tonight. All I can say. You know, but I make a motion that we, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna ask, how about, y'all, we wanna do like a public hearing or have
I
a
think
meeting that
just
have just a public hearing session that we can talk about it?
Yeah, have a meeting in the, yeah, in the, committee room, I mean, over there. But I make a motion, I'm sorry, you fit to say something?
I was just gonna say, if we could, I know that a lot of our meetings during the daytime don't get a whole lot of people. You know, if we could do it, around 5 or 6 in the evening, I think we'd get more people, they're off work.
Correct.
Not having, to miss work, some people can't. So if we do it, let's just do it, where we're gonna get the most people.
Yeah, well, that's why I made that motion years back to, have it at 6 o'clock, so that way people's getting off from work. We don't wanna have it at 4 o'clock, cause most people's are working. But I make a motion that we, reconvene back in the regular session now.
All right, got a motion, second. Motion on a second, meaning executive session. If you will, cast your vote.
Before I cast it, tell me what we're voting for.
To reconvene into executive session.
Okay, I wanna make sure.
We done told you.
Okay. All right, that was better. All right, I missed that one. I did cycle, but I missed it.
Yeah, you did second, didn't you?
All right, motion carried. I'll send some dates to everybody for us to have a public hearing, if that's fine with everybody.
Okay. We'll put it in the paper and all and
Yeah,
radio.
we do our normal
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Yep.
What are we talking like when, like?
I mean, you can set the date now if you want to.
Not June, July.
Not June?
No, not June. It's just my personal.
All right, July, we'll have it sometime in July. then.
July, okay.
All right,
I'm at church.
sounds cool. I'll get care of to send it all out to you. Is there a motion we adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
So moved.
All in favor? Let's go.